A man who was the subject of a statewide search on first-degree murder charges is now in custody. Police confirmed to 11 News that Adrian Pacheco was arrested in Pueblo today. We first brought you this story when Pacheco was on the run after allegedly killing a man at an apartment complex in Fort Collins in northern Colorado earlier this month. Authorities across the state have been searching for him since. Police tell us Pacheco was finally taken into custody this afternoon. Officers received information that he was here in southern Colorado, and after a brief foot chase, he was arrested. Pacheco may be facing additional charges now, along with that murder charge. Of course, we'll keep you updated as that court system, the case moves through the court system.